Alumni Port Harcourt as he addressed the topic Angels as Diplomats and Humans as Oracles in the Pathway of History. God's Power Annually brings the report.
Professor Ikunga revealed that Africa is underdeveloping instead of developing because of her leaders' maladministration and negligence of their history and historians, noting that if historians are incorporated in the administration of any government, it will go a long way to provide the needed solutions to teething and major problems such as corruption, food shortage, unemployment, epileptic power supply, hunger, and many more through the harnessing of the historical knowledge of previous economies. He further recommended that historians should be employed to manage the affairs of Nigeria's foreign policy if the country must move forward.
Diplomats need to copy how the angels work with God and how to better Nigeria's foreign policy. That the federal government or state governments ought to employ historians, either in budgeting, either as commissioner, either as director, because it is the historians that are like oracles. Oracles will not lie, except human factor will go into it. So also human historians ought not to lie because of the excellent training they have been given.
Acting Vice Chancellor of Ignatius Ajero University of Education, Rumuolimene Port Harcourt, Professor Okechukwu Onochukwu, expressed satisfaction with the in-depth research and suggestions provided by Professor Ikunga to better the lives of the citizens. Professor Onochukwu appealed to relevant authorities to adopt the recommendations.
He went forward to describe every historian as an oracle. And you know that in our traditional society, for you to solve any particular problem, you consult the oracle. And whatever prophecy that is given to you is what you work on to solve the particular problem you have gone to. History is very important. Like, I agree with him that we must study history in all levels so that we'll know where we are coming from and we'll know where we are and where we are going to.
God's Power Anele, Rstv News.
The Port Harcourt Chamber of Commerce, Industries, Mines and Agriculture, FASIMA, has conferred its prestigious honorary life vice president title on the founder and general overseer of Omega Power Ministries, OPM, His Majesty Apostle Chibuzo Gift Cheering. The event, which took place at FASIMA House in Port Harcourt, was in recognition of Apostle Cheering's humanitarian deeds and achievements in the business community. Uboka Umeda was there and now reports.
Omega Power Ministries, OPM Worldwide, is a faith-based organization that not only takes care of the spiritual needs of members, but their physical needs also. The church runs an OPM foundation where the indigents in the society have received free education, medical attention, local and foreign scholarships, while others received training in vocations and were given startup packs to start up their businesses. Dr. Chinyere Nwoga, FASIMA's first female president, while addressing guests, described the honor as the highest the chamber bestows, emphasizing that the decision was unanimous among members.
All of us collectively agreed that we should give him the highest honor that comes out of this Port Harcourt Chamber of Commerce. We find in Apostle a man that when you're with him, you're with somebody.
A former president of FASIMA, Dr. Vincent Furo, who represented the current leadership at the ceremony, praised Chinyere's enduring impact on the society, referring to him as a name that opens doors and moves mountains. Responding, Apostle Chinyere expressed gratitude to FASIMA and pledged to contribute meaningfully to the chamber's objectives. Apostle Chinyere promised to add value to the chamber and commended FASIMA's relevance in verifying the authenticity of Nigerian businesses internationally.
It's a great honor to be a member of this, to be a member and also to be honorable life vice president of Port Harcourt Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Investors want to come into Nigeria, but they are scared because of bad experience they've had with the wrong image of Nigeria outside. So they don't know the genuine people to trust in order to do business. So with this now, it's a landing
Alabo Ayegbemi Naworio, president of OPM Divine Distributors, delivered a goodwill message on behalf of the OPM business community, stating that the church was honored by the recognition bestowed on their spiritual leader.
Let all of us know that this place is also our chambers now. Yes. By the grace of God, we will come, register, and begin to pass through the various processes so that we can identify genuine business people that we can partner with.
The event drew an impressive crowd of dignitaries, business leaders, and members of the clergy and laity. Dr. Emeka Onachuku, former president of the chamber, who appreciated all OPM members and supporters for turning out in large numbers, noted that the recognition will be further celebrated within Fasima's General House. Ogboka Umeda, Rstv News.
Dry bones have been described in various ways by the Christian faithful. In this special report, God's Power Annually underscores the different descriptions and the best approach to achieve desired progress. Take a listen.
The popular scriptural verses in Ezekiel 37, God revealed to the prophet about dry bones, as the situation then was a challenge to the people living within the land of Israel. But the dry bones did not occur and end in the land of Israel, but has affected other countries, including Nigeria, following the political and socio-economic challenges that impede development and healthy living. I went to various worship centers within Port Harcourt Metropolis and its environs to get authentic biblical meaning of the dry bones and the valuable insights of the way forward of a people. These ministers shared their scriptural knowledge by saying that dry bones could be hardship, lawlessness, regard for animals than humans in a society, lack of repentance, and many more.
About hopelessness. All right, so in Ezekiel 37, God tells Ezekiel that even if Israel sees themselves as dry bones, that they can still become a great army.
These bones, they were very, very dry. That means a state of hopelessness. There is nothing good that can come out of dry bones.
There are some that are dry spiritually. It can also be dryness in the area of our health. It can also be dryness in the area of our finance, dryness in the area of our relationship. A man who has already dipped himself in sin.
The ministers explained that no matter what the people are passing through at the moment, one with God is majority, noting that if anyone or nation will genuinely and diligently approach God in prayer, they shall certainly overcome challenges and have open doors, breakthrough, and testimonies.
Trust in the Lord, they will stand and stand upright. But those that do not trust in the Lord, they will fall down. Because you put your trust in the Lord, and from today, help will come. Hope is alive. You will become a gracious person. You will become an overcomer in all that you do. I make a declaration over everyone that have felt God has forgotten him, that you are not going to prosper again, that nothing is working. Life has come.
In the same manner, what is saying to us that if a man looks at himself as hopeless, as useless, as without future, God is able to, if he allows God, God is able to release a total restoration. So God is the answer to every dryness. Return unto him, no matter how far you have gone. Whether dryness in business, dryness in your health, dryness in your finance, dryness in your family life, in your pursuit, God is the answer.
Individuals and countries should not be perturbed by the present challenges confronting them, but should hope and rely solely on the Creator, who has the keys to success, instead of relying on humans that can fail them anytime. Hence, with God, the dry bones shall rise again. God's Power Annually, Rstv News.
Thank you so much, God's Power there. The President Bola Tinubu, through the Federal Ministry of Works, has intervened in the ongoing concerns surrounding the potential discontinuation of funding for roads infrastructure projects under the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPCL) tax credit scheme. Speaking during a high-level engagement at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja with the affected contractors, the Minister of Works, David Umahi, relayed Tinubu's message, reaffirming the administration's commitment to infrastructure development. He assured the stakeholders of continuous funding and guaranteed that no project will be abandoned. Addressing the issue of unpaid certificates under the NNPC tax credit scheme, the minister moved to dispel fears within the contractors community, clarifying that the majority of projects under the NNPC's funding will remain unaffected. Furthermore, he assured the contractors, particularly those working on concession-bound roads, that before such projects are handed over to prospective concessionaries who have proof of funds and capacity to perform, all debts and outstanding entitlements to such contractors will be fully paid. The federal government and the Republic of Benin have agreed on a joint trade framework to eliminate bottlenecks, facilitate economic development, and create new opportunities across both countries. The move seeks to strengthen regional trade ties and economic integration. The agreement was reached at a high-level meeting in Benin Republic over the weekend. The session brought together senior government officials, custom chiefs, and trade experts from both countries to chart a collaborative path toward efficient cross-border trade. A statement by the Assistant Controller of Customs National Public Relations Officer PRO, Abdullahi Mewada, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Jumoke Uduwole, described the bilateral framework as a bold step forward in West Africa's regional economic strategy. Do you love and care about River State and at least if yes, let's be able to take her to greater height. Well, this is a task you and I must accomplish. We'll come back, we'll go on a short break, and when we return, we'll bring you more stories.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Welcome back. Similarly, Nigeria and Algeria have reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening bilateral relations following a high-level diplomatic engagement between the Ministers of Foreign Affairs of both countries, Yusuf Tuga, Nigeria, and Ahmed Attar, Algeria. A statement by the spokesman of Nigeria's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Al-Qasim Abdul-Kader, during the meeting. Both ministers exchanged views on shared strategic interests and pledged to deepen cooperation across political, economic, and multilateral platforms. He disclosed that emphasis was placed on revitalizing the Nigeria-Algeria Binational Commission, enhancing regional coordination, and promoting African priorities on the global stage. Tugar also performed the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of a new chancery building for the Embassy of Nigeria in Algeria. Now, the federal government has pledged to gazette the long-awaited nurses scheme of service within 4 weeks. The government also pledged to direct the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria to put in place modalities for the central place of nurses for internship. The measures aimed at addressing key demands of the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, particularly those related to career progression, welfare, and internship placement. The resolutions formed part of a memorandum of understanding reached at the end of conciliation meeting held on Friday, convened by the Minister of Labor and Employment, Maigari Dengiadi, and attended by the Coordinating Minister for Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Patey, and the leadership of none. Nurses and midwives embarked on a 7-day warning strike on Wednesday to push for demands such as the gazetting of the nurses' scheme of service and an upward review of shift allowances. However, the strike was suspended following an agreement reached between the association and the federal government. Now, on the foreign scene, hundreds of demonstrators have marched through the streets of Tunisian capital in a powerful display of solidarity with the Palestinian people as anger grows over the worsening humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Let's join Deborah Olege as she tells us this and many more from the foreign scene.
Protesters waved Palestinian flags, held signs and chanted slogans, commending both the Israeli blockade and the silence of Arab government. The crowd paused to sing the Tunisian national anthem, a moment of national unity, blending with the shared Arab and Islamic cause. Permitted Tunisian opposition leader, head of National Salvation Front, Ahmed Najib Chibi, was seen walking at the center of the demonstration. A group of some 600 retired Israeli security officials, including former head of the intelligence agency, have written to U.S. President Donald Trump to pressure Israel to immediately end the war in Gaza. The appeal comes amid reporters Netanyahu is pushing to expand military operations in Gaza as indirect ceasefire talks with Hamas have stalled. Israel launched a devastating war in Gaza following Hamas attack in southern Israel on 7th October 2023, in which about 1,200 people were killed and 251 taken into Gaza as hostages. The Hamas-run Houthi military says more than 60,000 people have been killed as a result of Israel's military campaign in Gaza since then. United States President Donald Trump has said his special envoy Steve Witkoff will visit Russia next week to continue talks on the war in Ukraine. Responding questions to the former newsman on what Russia could do to avoid looming sanctions, the US president he will get a deal where people stop getting killed. President Trump has threatened to impose very severe tariffs on Russia if it fails to reach a ceasefire deal with Ukraine soon. Also said that his nuclear submarines he employed following an online war with former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev now in the region. Trump has not said whether he meant nuclear-powered or nuclear-armed submarines. Deborah Olege, Rstv Foreign News.
Now, Big Brother Naija Season 10 housemate Thelma Lawson has accused the fellow contestant Emisi of playing the victim card. Thelma, who is the acting head of the house for the week, made this known while addressing housemates during a meeting in the lounge. Miriam Ojochide tells this and more from the entertainment story.
The statement comes after Emisi broke down in tears following a heated argument with Roboy and Cohen over calls in the kitchen. The drama unfolded when Emisi refused to do dishes, leading to a first exchange with Roboy. Emisi was later seen alone on a garden swing, visibly emotional and wiping away tears. Thelma's comments suggest she's not buying into Emisi's emotional display, implying the tactics to gain sympathy.
Okay, thank you. Don't call me a bitch. Shut up. They're irrelevant.
Nollywood actress Iyabo Jo has responded firstly to social media activist Very Darkman, who claimed she backed out of agreement to publicly apologize to Naira Marley and Sam Larry. According to Very Darkman, the agreement was reached during a roundtable discussion at the Nigerian Police Force National Cybercrime Center, where Iyabo Jo, Naira Marley, Sam Larry, and Tonto Dike were present with their legal teams. Iyabo Jo dismissed Very Darkman's claim as manipulative and dishonest, labeling him as cunning and deceitful. She defended her actions, stating she had genuine reason to speak out against Naira Marley and Sam Larry. Sam Larry's alleged involvement in the late singer Mohbad's death. The mother of two cited disturbing videos and online reports that emerged after Mohbad's passing, including footage of Sam Larry allegedly mocking the late singer and showing physical assault, which later led her to believe the bullying accusations. A man has died after falling from a height at an Oasis concert. The Metropolitan Police said officers and medics at Wembley Stadium in London responded to report that a man in his 40s had been injured. A spokesperson for the force said the man was found with injuries consistent with a fall and was pronounced dead at the scene. Oasis said in a statement they were shocked and saddened to hear of the death of a fan. While sending condolences to the family of the deceased, Oasis had asked anyone with useful information to get in touch. Ojochidi Miriam, Rstv Entertainment News.
And in sports, Super Eagles captain Ahmed Musa has sent congratulatory message to Nigeria's D Tigers for claiming the record Afrobasket title. ODB Tarinabo tells us more.
The Tigers overcame a resilient Mali 78-64 in the final of the 2025 Women's Afrobasket to become the first team to win tournament 5 times in a row. With the win against Mali, the Tigers, who have now won their 7th continental title, extended their winning streak to 29-0, dating back to their place game of the 2015 tournament in Yaoundé, Cameroon. Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris has rewarded the Koran Gwandu Football Club with a cash donation of 20 million in the recognition of their back-to-back victories in the Benin Kebbi Youth Soccer League for the 2023 and 2024 seasons. Idris announced this at the government house in Benin Kebbi while receiving the trophies presented to him by the club's team manager Abubakar Sadiq Bullets. The governor, elated by the team's consistent performance, praised both the players and management for their dedication and outstanding achievements. Former Barcelona president Joan Gasprat has disclosed that Marcus Rashford is better than Athletic Bilbao star Nico Williams. His comments came in response to criticism from Inaki Williams after the younger Williams turned down a move to Blaugrana and instead signed a long-term extension with Athletic Club. Gasprat, who was president at Barcelona from 2000 to 2003, has a reputation for explosive interviews and he is confident the situation worked out better for his old team in the end. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp has admitted that his side were unlucky to have lost to Manchester City in a top-of-the-table clash in the Premier League on Thursday. The Reds saw the unbeaten run in the EPL to come to an end at the Etihad Stadium following a 2-1 loss to current champions Manchester City. Leroy Sane scored the winner to the Pep Guardiola side after Roberto Firmino's header had cancelled out Sergio Aguero's left-footed half volley past Alisson Becker from the tightest angle. Despite the defeat, Liverpool remains 4 points clear at the top of the table. We'll leave it to Rstv Sports News.
And that's it on the news at 3. Before you go, do you love and care about River State and our peace? If yes, let's build and take her to greater height. For this is a task you and I must accomplish. Many thanks for staying with us all through. My name is Helen Eric Gemini. Good afternoon.
Rstv, bring you the news as it is.